Before mankind ever knew the name of this land, it had already endured millions of years of dramatic transformation. Seas receded, revealing ancient plateaus where stone had witnessed the age of dinosaurs. Seas receded, revealing ancient plateaus where stone had witnessed the age of dinosaurs. Every drop of rain, every crashing wave, wove together a masterpiece of nature. From thundering waterfalls to deep jungles where sunlight slips through in delicate golden streaks. Then came humans, breathing in rhythm with the land. They built villages along the rivers, etched their myths into stone walls, and left behind timeless stories of survival, faith, and aspiration. Nature did not merely nurture them, it challenged, shaped, and bestowed upon them an unyielding vitality. Today, this is Brazil, a nation stretching across nearly half of South America, home to the mighty Amazon, endless golden shores, breathtaking waterfalls, and sweeping plateaus. It is where cities and nature intertwine, Rio de Janeiro glowing beneath Sugarloaf Mountain, Salvador echoing with African rhythms, and São Paulo pulsing with life amid its concrete jungle. Each region carries its own melody, yet all merge into a grand symphony of culture, color, and emotion. And the journey has only just begun. Let your eyes meet wonders, your feet leave prints in golden sands, and your heart beat to the samba of Brazil. Iguazu Falls stretches across the border of Argentina's Misiones province and Brazil's Paraná state, forming the largest waterfall system in the world, with nearly 275 cascades spanning almost 2 miles. Its name, from the Guarani words for big water, captures the force and grandeur of this natural wonder. A local legend tells of a deity who, in a jealous rage, split the river to create the falls, trapping 2 lovers in an endless descent. First recorded by Spanish explorer Álvar Núñez Cabeza de Vaca in 1541, the falls are now protected by 2 UNESCO-listed national parks, safeguarding one of the last great stretches of Atlantic forest. The most breathtaking point is the Devil's Throat, a massive U-shaped gorge where water crashes down 269 feet, creating clouds of mist that rise into the subtropical air. Visitors can explore jungle trails, boardwalks, and boat rides that edge close to the roaring torrents, while the Brazilian side offers sweeping panoramic views. The surrounding rainforest is alive with jaguars, giant anteaters, toucans, and over 2,000 plant species. Every visit reveals a new face of Iguazu, from the overwhelming surge of the rainy season to the graceful ribbons of water in drier months. Here, nature's scale and beauty merge into a spectacle that leaves an imprint long after you leave. Soaring above Rio de Janeiro from the 2,310-foot summit of Mount Corcovado, Christ the Redeemer is both Brazil's defining symbol and the largest Art Deco statue in the world. The idea first emerged in the 1852, but political changes halted it for decades. In 1921, the Catholic Church reignited the vision, rallying public donations for a monument that would embody peace and faith. Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa, working with artist Carlos Oswald, designed the statue's now iconic open-armed pose, while French sculptor Paul Landowski shaped its head and hands. Construction from 1926 to 1931 used reinforced concrete for strength and over 6 million soapstone tiles for beauty and durability. Standing 98 feet tall with a 92-foot arm span, it rests on a 26-foot pedestal, visible from nearly every corner of Rio. Over the years, it has survived fierce storms, lightning strikes, and the erosion of time, undergoing major restorations, including a 2010 renewal using 60,000 stones from the original quarry. Today, with elevators, escalators, and a chapel at its base, it draws millions yearly, offering one of the most breathtaking panoramas on Earth, from Guanabara Bay to Sugarloaf Mountain. The Amazon rainforest, Earth's largest tropical forest, sprawls across 2.3 million square miles in 9 South American countries, with Brazil holding 60%. Fed by the vast Amazon River, the planet's largest river basin, it stretches from the Atlantic to the Andes foothills, expanding into a lush green world shaped by relentless rain, high humidity, and heat. Here grow over 390 billion trees from 16,000 species, creating a lush sanctuary where life bursts from every corner of the forest. People have lived here for over 11,000 years, cultivating fertile terra preta soils and building thriving societies long before Europeans arrived. In 1542, Francisco de Orellana, named the forest after fierce women warriors, recalling the Greek Amazons. Today, over 30 million people, including 350 ethnic groups, 60 still uncontacted, call this home. Yet deforestation, fires, and resource extraction push it toward peril. A journey into the Amazon is more than travel. It is stepping into a living archive of Earth's past, where nature and culture have shared the same breath for millennia. Exploring the Amazon means gliding along glassy rivers, beneath towering canopies, waking to howler monkeys, and meeting indigenous communities rich in centuries-old wisdom. It's a journey into a world that humbles you, where the forest beats like the living heart of our planet. Sugarloaf Mountain rises 1,299 feet from the edge of Guanabara Bay in Rio de Janeiro, its granite peak soaring almost vertically from the water. The name dates back to the 16th century, when Portuguese traders compared its conical silhouette to the clay molds used to shape refined sugar during Brazil's booming sugarcane era. Geologically, it belongs to a rare group of steep-sided rock formations called Bornhards, formed over millions of years by erosion. Since 1912, visitors have reached its summit via a glass-walled cable car, an engineering marvel of its time, gliding in 2 stages from Morro da Babilônia to Morro da Urca, then on to the peak. The current system, upgraded in 1972 and 2008, carries up to 65 passengers every 20 minutes, offering unmatched views of Rio's beaches, mountains, and city skyline. From the top, the panorama sweeps across Copacabana's golden sands, the green slopes of Tijuca National Park, and the distant outline of Christ the Redeemer. At sunset, the city glows in shades of gold and crimson, a scene that has inspired filmmakers, painters, and travelers for generations. Sugarloaf isn't just a viewpoint, it's Rio's stage in the sky, where nature and culture share the spotlight. Framed by mountains and the Atlantic, Copacabana is Rio de Janeiro's most iconic neighborhood, famed for its sweeping 2.5-mile crescent of golden sand. Once called Sacopenapan by the Tupi people, it was renamed in the 18th century after a chapel honoring Bolivia's Virgen de Copacabana. Over the years, it grew into a vibrant urban playground, lined with hotels, cafes, theaters, and nightclubs along the bustling Avenida Atlantica. Fort Duque de Caxias, built in 1779, anchors the north end, while Fort Copacabana, built in 1914, guards the south. The promenade's signature black and white wave pattern, redesigned in the 1972 by landscape artist Roberto Burle Marx, has become a postcard image of Rio. Beyond sunbathing and surfing, Copacabana is home to one of the world's largest New Year's Eve celebrations, drawing up to 2 million people for fireworks, live music, and rituals rooted in Afro-Brazilian traditions. It even played a starring role as an Olympic venue in 2016. From morning joggers tracing the shoreline to late-night samba spilling from bars, the neighborhood pulses with life at every hour. Here, the city's rhythm meets the ocean breeze, creating a spirit that leaves every visitor longing to return. Framed by Arpoador on one side and Leblon on the other, Ipanema is one of Rio's most iconic beaches and one of Brazil's most exclusive addresses. Once farmland owned by the Baron of Ipanema, in the late 19th century, the neighborhood evolved into a cultural hub, earning the nickname Little Paris for its art galleries, cinemas, and bookstores. Sundays bring the lively hippie fair at General Osorio Square, where locals sell crafts, jewelry, and the must-try acarajé shrimp-filled fritters, fried in palm oil. Along Garcia Davila Street, luxury boutiques line the blocks, while beachfront cafes serve everything from feijoada to premium churrasco. The area's fame soared worldwide in 1962 when Antonio Carlos Jobim and Vinicius de Moraes penned The Girl from Ipanema, immortalizing its laid-back elegance. Today, the beach is a playground for volleyball, frescaball, and surfing, with lifeguard postos marking its different vibes. Posto 9 for the bohemian crowd, Posto 10 for sports lovers, and Farme de Amoedo for the LGBTQ+ community. At sunset, crowds gather by the Dois Irmãos peaks, applauding as the sky turns gold over the Cagaras Islands, a daily ritual that captures the soul of Rio. From its rich history to its vibrant beach culture, Ipanema is more than a postcard scene. It's a living stage where the city's energy meets the rhythm of the Atlantic. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park, in northeastern Brazil's Maranhão state, is a surreal meeting of desert-like dunes and shimmering rain-fed lagoons. Spanning over 156,000 hectares, this UNESCO World Heritage Site lies at the crossroads of three major biomes: Cerrado, Cainga, and Amazon, creating a unique blend of ecosystems. Formed during the late Quaternary period, the park's sweeping Barchan dunes can rise up to 40 meters and stretch inland for miles, shaped by constant winds and shifting sands. Between January and June, seasonal rains transform the golden expanse into a mosaic of turquoise, emerald, and cobalt lagoons, some over 300 feet long, framed by pure white sand. Beneath the surface, an impermeable layer traps the water, allowing fish and aquatic life to thrive until the dry season reclaims them. Historically, this coastline served as a natural frontier for indigenous communities and later as a remote haven for fishing villages, whose traditions still echo in the region's culture. Wildlife lovers may spot scarlet ibises, neotropical otters, and even the elusive West Indian manatee in surrounding mangroves and rivers. Today, adventurers trek barefoot across rippling dunes, paddle through crystalline pools, and witness sunsets that set the sands ablaze. It's a living landscape, ever-changing, untamed, and unlike anywhere else on Earth. The Pantanal, straddling Brazil, Bolivia, and Paraguay, is the largest tropical wetland on Earth, an immense basin of seasonal floods and lush grasslands spanning up to 195,000 square kilometers. Formed millions of years ago by a vast tectonic depression linked to the rise of the Andes, it functions as a giant inland delta where rivers merge, spill, and retreat with the seasons. During the rainy months, nearly 80% of its plains are submerged, creating a haven for over 2,000 plant species, 460-plus birds, jaguars, giant otters, and the world's densest population of caimans. Apple snails, with both gills and lungs, play a crucial role in recycling nutrients in oxygen-poor waters. Its landscapes blend influences from the Amazon, Cerrado savannas, and Chaco forests, offering visitors a mix of gallery forests, open marshes, and mirror-like lagoons. Protected areas such as Pantanal Matogrossense National Park and SESC Pantanal Reserve safeguard this UNESCO-recognized wonder, while eco-lodges and river tours bring travelers face-to-face with its wildlife spectacles. For those seeking nature in its rawest form, the Pantanal offers a front-row seat to one of the planet's richest living theaters. Rising from the South Atlantic, the volcanic peaks of Fernando de Noronha and the Rocas Atoll form Brazil's most treasured marine sanctuary, Once used by Portuguese navigators in the 16th century as a strategic outpost, these islands now protect pristine ecosystems, where hawksbill and green turtles nest, dolphins gather year-round, and tropical seabirds fill the skies in the largest concentration of their kind in the western Atlantic. Rocas Atoll, the only atoll in the South Atlantic, reveals a natural aquarium at low tide, its lagoons teeming with fish, corals, and sponges. Nearly 70% of Noronha is part of a national marine park, safeguarding its rare insular Atlantic forest and the region's only oceanic mangrove. Travelers can dive into crystal clear waters alongside rays and reef sharks, hike to the panoramic heights of Morro dos Irmãos, or watch sunset paint the horizon from Forte dos Remedios, a relic of colonial defense. Bahia do Sancho voted the world's best beach offers emerald waters perfect for snorkeling, while Bahia dos Golfinhos provides the rare sight of resident dolphins playing in the surf. From historic lookout points to untouched shores, Fernando de Noronha blends raw natural beauty with a deep sense of history, creating a destination that stays with you long after you've left. Tucked behind towering dunes on Brazil's northeastern coast, Jericoacoara, affectionately Jerry, was once an isolated fishing village where nights were lit only by moonlight. Its name comes from the Tupi words for sea turtle lair, a nod to the wildlife that still visits these shores. Declared an environmental protection area in 1984 and later a national park in 2002, Jerry's remote location and strict building rules have preserved its raw beauty. Reaching it from Fortaleza is an adventure in itself, ending with an off-road drive through golden dunes and along the beach. Today, Jerry's sandy streets lead to blue-green lagoons, mangroves, and wind-swept beaches perfect for kitesurfing and sailing. Highlights include Pedra Furada, a sea-carved rock where the July sunset aligns perfectly through its arch, Lagoa Paraíso, famed for hammocks set in shallow turquoise waters, and Praia do Mangue Seco, where seahorses drift in calm estuaries. Evenings bring candlelit seafood dinners and music-filled bars, where the rhythm of forró mingles with the sound of waves. With its mix of natural wonders, vibrant culture, and untouched charm, Jericoacoara offers more than just a beach getaway. It's an immersive journey into Brazil's coastal soul. Just 7.5 miles off Brazil's Atlantic coast, Ilha Grande is a lush 7.5 square mile paradise near Angra dos Reis. Its rugged heart rises to Pico da Pedra d'Água, over 300 feet high, while its shores hide pristine beaches and emerald coves. Once off limits, for nearly a century home to a quarantine station, and later the notorious Candido Mendes maximum security prison, the island began welcoming visitors after the prison's closure in 1994. Today, 87% of its land is protected, including the Ilha Grande State Park and reserves safeguarding Brazil's endangered Atlantic rainforest. Here, rare birds like red-browed Amazons and bare-throated bellbirds thrive, earning its status as an important bird area. With no roads or cars, travelers roam more than 90 miles of trails linking fishing hamlets, waterfalls, and secluded sands like the famed Lopes Mendes Beach, a 2-hour trek from Vila do Abraão. Recognized by UNESCO in 2019, Ilha Grande remains an ecotourism gem where crystal-clear waters meet dense jungle. Boat rides reveal hidden bays, while nights bring star-filled skies unspoiled by city lights. It's the kind of place that pulls you into its rhythm, slow, untamed, and endlessly captivating, where each sunrise feels like the beginning of an adventure you never want to end. Tucked along Brazil's lush Costa Verde, Paraty is a perfectly preserved colonial gem, where cobblestone streets meet emerald mountains and island-dotted bays. Founded by the Portuguese in 1667 on land once home to the Guiana people, its name comes from the Tupi word for river of fish, a nod to the mullet that still spawn in its waters. In the 17th century, Paraty thrived as the Atlantic port for gold from Minas Gerais, linked by the legendary Gold Trail, now a scenic hiking route. When pirate raids and dwindling mines ended the boom, the town turned to cachaça production, earning fame for the sugarcane spirit still celebrated today. Isolated for much of the 19th and 20th centuries, Paraty escaped modern overdevelopment, preserving its whitewashed facades, colorful doors, and Baroque churches. Since the 1972nd, it has re-emerged as a UNESCO-listed cultural and natural treasure, framed by Atlantic forest peaks, waterfalls, and turquoise sea. Visitors come for its car-free historic center, island-hopping cruises, and a timeless atmosphere where horse-drawn carts share the streets with barefoot locals. In Paraty, every turn feels like stepping into a living postcard, one painted in history, nature, and the warm hues of Brazil's coastal soul. Tucked in the heart of Bahia, Chapada Diamantina National Park is a rugged paradise where waterfalls plunge from towering cliffs, caves shimmer with crystal clear pools, and trails wind through a mosaic of ecosystems, from the arid Caatinga to lush Atlantic forests. Peaks soar over 6,600 feet, sheltering pumas, wildcats, and rare birds, while orchids and bromeliads cling to rocky slopes. Long before hikers came, the land was shaped by Precambrian erosion, creating tepui-like mesas, revered by the Maracas and Carreras tribes. In the mid-1700s, diamond fever brought Portuguese settlers, turning towns like Lençóis and Mucugê into bustling mining hubs whose colonial streets still echo that gilded era. Old prospectors' paths now lead adventurers to wonders like the 1,300-foot Fumasa Falls and the luminous Poço Encantado cave. Established in 1985, the park covers over 375,000 acres across the Sincorá Range, crowned by Bahia's highest peak, Pico do Barbado. Beyond its breathtaking scenery, Chapada Diamantina offers a living link between Brazil's natural grandeur and its layered history, where every trail feels like a journey through time, and every view reminds you why this land has captivated explorers for centuries. Just 37 miles south of Recife, Porto de Galinhas in Ipojuca, Pernambuco, is a slice of Brazilian paradise where history meets natural beauty. Once called Puerto Rico, it became a covert hub for the slave trade in the 19th century, hidden behind shipments of guinea fowl, giving rise to its curious name, Port of Chickens. Today, it's celebrated as Brazil's top beach, thanks to crystal clear waters, soft white sands, and natural pools formed by coral reefs, the closest to shore anywhere in the country. The village charms visitors with coconut-lined shores, vibrant marine life, and activities like snorkeling, raft trips, and thrilling buggy rides along the coast. Nearby, Muro Alto's calm reef-protected waters invite luxury resort stays. Sarambi's golden sunsets offer peaceful escapes, and Cupe and Maracaipe lure surfers with rolling waves. Nature lovers can follow ecological trails through mangroves, spot exotic birds, or join reef restoration programs that keep the region's marine treasures thriving. Evenings here are as enchanting as the days strolling the village streets, lit by warm lanterns, sampling fresh seafood, and listening to the soft hum of the ocean. Porto de Galinhas isn't just a beach. It's a living blend of culture, history, and nature. A place where every tide brings a new reason to stay. Salvador, the vibrant capital of Bahia, is where Brazil's African heritage pulses through music, dance, and food. Founded in 1549 by Tomé de Sousa as the first capital of colonial Brazil, it quickly became a major port for sugar and the transatlantic slave trade. The city's unique topography created two distinct worlds: the upper town, home to churches and government, and the lower town, alive with markets and the harbor. From its founding, Salvador shaped Brazil's religious and political history. In 1551, it became seat of the country's first Catholic diocese, and it played a key role in resisting Dutch invasions in the 1602. Today, its UNESCO-listed Pelourinho dazzles with colorful colonial facades, cobblestone streets, and 17th century churches. The city also hosts one of the largest carnivals on Earth and proudly carries UNESCO's City of Music title. With golden beaches like Porto de Barra, the sweeping Bay of All Saints, and a rhythm that blends Portuguese and African traditions, Salvador is a living museum of Brazil's soul and a place where history dances in the streets. For travelers, Salvador offers more than sightseeing, it's an immersion. From capoeira performances in public squares to the scent of acarajé sizzling on street corners, every moment feels like stepping into a story centuries in the making. Founded in 1549 on a peninsula between Todos os Santos Bay and the Atlantic, Salvador de Bahia was Brazil's first capital and a gateway for Portuguese exploration. From 1558, it became the New World's first slave market, shaping a unique blend of European, African, and indigenous cultures. Its historic center, especially the Pelourinho district, preserves Renaissance urban design adapted to a colonial setting, with pastel facades, ornate stucco, and cobbled streets that echo the 16th century plan. Towering over the lower town, the upper town housed defensive forts, government buildings, and grand churches like the Baroque São Francisco and the Cathedral Basilica. By the 17th and 18th centuries, Salvador was a booming sugar port and cultural crossroads where Afro-Brazilian traditions flourished in music, religion, and cuisine. Today, its UNESCO-listed core boasts over 800 restored buildings, from palaces to convents, alongside vibrant plazas like Terreiro de Jesus. Street musicians, capoeira performers, and the scent of Bahian street food fill the air, turning every corner into a sensory journey. Exploring Salvador de Bahia is to walk through centuries of history while feeling the heartbeat of Brazil's cultural soul. Ouro Preto, or black gold, rose to prominence in the late 17th century as the heart of Brazil's gold rush, quickly becoming one of the largest cities in the Americas. Once known as Vila Rica, it flourished under Portuguese rule, attracting artists, thinkers, and revolutionaries. Its steep hills are crowned with Baroque masterpieces by Alejandro and vivid ceiling paintings by Manuel da Costa Ataide, blending European styles with local creativity. In 1789, it became the cradle of the Inconfidência Mineira, an early movement for Brazilian independence, led by the ill-fated Tiradentes. The city's decline after the gold boom preserved its colonial streets, ornate churches, and civic buildings like the former governor's palace and the Inconfidência Museum. Surrounded by the rugged Serra do Espinhaço, Ouro Preto remains a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where gilded altars, soapstone sculptures, and cobblestone lanes offer a living museum of Brazil's golden age. Today, visitors wander its winding streets, take in sweeping mountain views, and step into churches that still shimmer, with gold experiencing a place where history, art, and nature remain inseparably intertwined. Manaus, the vibrant capital of Brazil's Amazonas state, rises at the dramatic confluence of the Rio Negro and the Amazon River, deep in the heart of the rainforest. Founded in 1669 as the Fort of São José do Rio Negro, it grew from an indigenous settlement into a strategic colonial outpost, later booming in the late 19th century as rubber wealth transformed it into the Paris of the tropics. European barons brought marble, crystal, and art from abroad, building the opulent Amazon Theater, still one of the city's crown jewels. The rubber collapse left Manaus in decline, until the 1967 creation of a free trade zone revived its economy, attracting electronics, shipbuilding, and chemical industries. Today, it blends modern commerce with rich cultural heritage, from its historic cathedral to museums showcasing native traditions. Just beyond the city, the meeting of the waters, where the dark Rio Negro runs alongside the sandy Solimões for miles without mixing, is a natural wonder that draws travelers worldwide. Surrounded by one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth, Manaus serves as the perfect launch point for river cruises, jungle treks, and encounters with wildlife found nowhere else. It remains a city where history, culture, and the untamed Amazon meet in unforgettable harmony. Rio de Janeiro, set along Brazil's Atlantic coast near the Tropic of Capricorn, is a city where soaring granite peaks meet golden beaches and samba rhythms pulse through the streets. Founded by the Portuguese in 1565 and named after Guanabara Bay, mistaken for a river by explorers on the 1st of January, 1502 Rio grew from a colonial outpost to Brazil's capital in 1763. It flourished as the heart of the gold and diamond trade from Minas Gerais, later welcoming the Portuguese royal court, which gave the city its cosmopolitan flair. Even after the capital moved to Brasília in 1960, Rio thrived as Brazil's cultural icon, famed for landmarks like Sugarloaf Mountain, Christ the Redeemer, and the vibrant Copacabana and Ipanema beaches. Its neighborhoods reflect a rich mix of European, African, and indigenous heritage, while the favelas cling to steep hillsides overlooking the sea. From the energy of Carnival to the tranquil trails of Tijuca Forest, Rio is a place where history, nature, and celebration intertwine, inviting visitors to experience its spirit, from sunrise on the beach to music-filled nights. And beyond the postcard views, every corner tells a story. From colonial churches and art-filled museums to bustling street markets, where the city's soul truly comes alive. Tucked along Brazil's sun-kissed Região dos Lagos, about 107 miles east of Rio de Janeiro, Armação dos Búzios, simply Búzios, is a former fishing village turned world-class resort town. Its story stretches back to the 16th century, when the Tupinambá people thrived here. In the 1602nd European incursions brought French pirates and smugglers, drawn by pau-brasil wood and the slave trade, until bloody clashes with the Portuguese decimated the native population. By the 18th century, the area was a hub for whaling, with whale oil even fueling local lamps and helping build the Santa Ana Chapel. The name Armação refers to the process of stripping meat from whale bones remnants still found along Praia dos Ossos. After the slave trade ended in the mid-1802, Búzios embraced agriculture and fishing, evolving into a culturally mixed community. Its leap to fame came in 1964, when Brigitte Bardot's visit transformed it into a chic escape for Rio's elite and soon the global jet set. Today, its 23 beaches offer a spectrum from serene coves like Azeda to surf-ready swells at Gariba. By night, cobblestone Rua das Pedras buzzes with boutiques, bars, and seafood restaurants, making Búzios as vibrant after sunset as under its dazzling Atlantic sun. Perched atop a 1.8 billion-year-old plateau in Goiás, Brazil, Chapada dos Veadeiros National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a jewel of the Cerrado biome. Created in 1961, the park spans over 240,000 hectares of waterfalls, crystal clear springs, and surreal rock formations shaped over millennia. Long before it became a nature haven, this region boomed during Brazil's 18th century gold rush. Cavalcante, one of the area's earliest towns, drew fortune seekers and even hosted Princess Isabel for a day. The mining era also gave rise to Brazil's largest Quilombo communities, descendants of escaped enslaved Africans, including the proud Kalunga people, whose traditions still thrive. Today, visitors hike to wonders like Cachoeira dos Saltos' cascading pools, the moon-like rockscape of Valle da Lua, and the turquoise waters of Santa Barbara Falls. Trails lead through wildflower-filled fields to panoramic lookouts such as Mirante da Janela, revealing horizons that seem endless. Local kitchens serve hearty Goiás dishes, matula stew, cassava, and Cerrado cashew sweets, blending comfort with heritage. Here, every step carries echoes of history, and every view feels like nature's masterpiece waiting to be discovered. Recife, the vibrant capital of Pernambuco on Brazil's northeastern coast, blends centuries of history with a striking waterfront. Founded in 1537 as a Portuguese port for the booming sugar trade, it later became Mauritsstad under Dutch rule in the 17th century, before returning to Portuguese control. Built on islands at the meeting of the Capibaribe and Beberibe rivers, the city takes its name from the natural stone reefs protecting its harbor, earning it the nickname Venice of Brazil with its 50+ bridges. Today, Recife is a cultural and economic hub, home to colonial churches, lively markets, cutting-edge hospitals, and the infectious rhythms of frevo and mangue beat. Nearby, the UNESCO-listed Historic Center of Olinda and the award-winning beaches of Porto de Galinhas draw visitors from around the globe. Carnival here is legendary, with Galo da Madrugada hosting millions in a joyous street parade. From its rainforests and river views to its fusion of Portuguese, Dutch, and Afro-Brazilian heritage, Recife offers travelers an unforgettable taste of Brazil's coastal soul, where history and modern life flow together like its rivers into the sea. Brasilia, set high in Brazil's central plateau, is a city born from vision and ambition. In 1960, President Juscelino Kubitschek fulfilled a long-standing constitutional dream to move the capital inland, symbolizing national unity and opening Brazil's vast interior. In 1960, President Juscelino Kubitschek fulfilled a long-standing constitutional dream to move the capital inland, symbolizing national unity and opening Brazil's vast interior. In 1960, President Juscelino Kubitschek fulfilled a long-standing constitutional dream to move the capital inland, symbolizing national unity and opening Brazil's vast interior. Residential superblocks were crafted to foster community life, reflecting Costa's social ideals. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987, Brasilia is both a functional capital and a living museum of modernism, attracting travelers with its bold architecture, organized green spaces, and sweeping vistas. Today, it stands as a rare example of a city designed entirely from scratch, an enduring statement of Brazil's creativity and confidence. For visitors, Brasilia is more than a seat of power. It's a place where art, history, and urban planning merge into an unforgettable experience beneath the open highland sky. In Brazil's Serra Gaúcha, Gramado was founded in 1875 by Azorean settlers and soon welcomed German and Italian immigrants whose traditions still define the city's look, flavors, and celebrations. The railway's arrival in 1921 transformed it from a farming village into a mountain retreat, and by the 1952nd, it was already a major tourist draw. Today, Gramado is the highlight of the Romantic route, known for its Bavarian-style facades, hydrangea gardens, and cool winters that sometimes bring snow. Visitors can stroll the covered Rua Coberta, pedal across Lago Negro, and admire the basalt-built São Pedro Church. Themed attractions like Mini Mundo, Snowland, and Mundo de Chocolate add variety, while nearby Canela offers Caracol Falls and the historic Castelinho Caracol. Annual events: Gramado Film Festival, Natal Luz, Festa da Colônia, fill the calendar with cinema, lights, and cultural heritage. Food lovers can enjoy fondue, gaucho, barbecue, and colonial cafes, or explore local wineries producing award-winning reds and sparkling wines. Whether for nature, history, or cuisine, Gramado delivers a complete travel experience that leaves visitors planning their return before they've even left. São Paulo, Brazil's largest city and economic powerhouse, began in 1554 as a remote Jesuit mission atop the Piratininga Plateau. Once a base for bandeirantes venturing inland for gold and territory, it remained modest until the 19th century coffee boom drew Italian, Japanese, Arab, and other immigrants whose cultures shaped neighborhoods like Liberdade, Bom Retiro, and Bixiga. By the 20th century, rapid industrialization transformed Sao Paulo into Latin America's leading financial and cultural hub. Home to the University of Sao Paulo, the continent's largest stock exchange, and a skyline where historic landmarks meet soaring towers. Today, the city pulses with diversity and creativity, from the green expanse of Ibirapuera Park and the flavors of Mercado Municipal to global events like the Sao Paulo Art Biennial, Formula One Grand Prix, and one of the world's largest pride parades. Art, music, and gastronomy thrive alongside bustling business districts, while street markets, samba clubs, and vibrant street art reveal the city's soul. For travelers, São Paulo is more than a gateway to Brazil. It's a living mosaic of histories, cultures, and ambitions, offering something new with every turn of its endless avenues. From the roar of Iguaçu Falls to the rhythm of samba echoing through Rio's streets, Brazil is a country that refuses to be experienced in half measures. Its landscapes stretch from emerald rainforests to sunlit beaches. Its cities pulse with art, music, and flavor, and its people greet you with a warmth that lingers long after you've left. Every journey here is a celebration of life, of color, of the joy found in every sunrise over the Atlantic. Brazil isn't just a place to visit. It's a place to feel, to dance, and to carry with you long after the journey ends.